Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to be taking a look at actually a pair of cards that are going to help you out in the early game if you're looking to draw some cards. Now, one of these I like more than the other, so our primary focus here is going to be on the new Tapu Koko, but we are going to have a look at Carnivine at the end. Now, our translation do come from the lovely Antoine Boulet here, as well as the lovely Joe from Cerebi.net, and I've said this many times, and I'm sure I'll say it many more. If you're not checking Cerebi on a regular basis for Pokemon news, why not? And maybe you should consider fixing that. So starting off with Tapu Koko, I mean, look, we got high expectations. Tapu Koko is often really good. Tapu Koko Prism Star is phenomenal. The promo that we had for spreading damage was awesome. The Pokemon V is a really nice card in Lightning decks nowadays. So, yeah, we like Tapu Koko. But is it any good, this new one? Well, we got 110 HP, which is exactly what we'd expect. Yeah, the Prism Star was up at 130, but you know what? It was a Prism Star, so kind of expect it to be a bit beefier. The retreat cost is 0. Having a free retreater is awesome. Being able to switch and then retreat, being able to pop it up in the active after a KO, so you don't have to retreat until you actually want to attack, and you can figure out your Pokemon during the turn. It's just brilliant. Being a basic Pokemon with free retreat is awesome. Being a basic Pokemon with free retreat and 110 HP so you can take a hit from a bunch of stuff, brilliant, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love it. Now, we also do see here a weakness to fighting, which, I mean, look, there's a bunch of really good Pokemon at the moment that are weak to fighting. We talked about that a bunch. Pikachu and Zekrom, Dedenne, a bunch of stuff coming later. So, yeah, anything that counters them is going to counter you. Sorry about that. And you're a lightning Pokemon. Now, weakness-wise, it's not great. We're not seeing an influx of lightning weak Pokemon at the moment. We do see stuff like Lapras V Max, which is weak. Water Pokemon are nowadays, but they're not particularly good or widely played right now. And we are losing Thunder Mountain, which sucks because that reduced your attack cost. And we are losing Electro Power, which sucks because that let you do extra damage. We are keeping Tapu Koko Prism Star, but hey ho. What does it do? 1 colorless energy, draw 2 cards. That's what it does. It is a Pokemon that for a single colorless energy lets you draw 2 cards. And we've seen this before, incidentally. We've seen plenty of Pokemon that let you draw 2 cards. So why am I mentioning this? Why is Tapu Koko getting its own video? I mean, the Snorlax from Rebel Clash can draw 2 cards for 1 colorless energy. That works. The Sudowoodo from Sword and Shield for 1 colorless energy can draw 2 cards. Plus it's got a really nice flail attack that does 10 damage for each damage counter on it. They are basic Pokemon that for a single colorless energy can draw 2 cards. If you want a basic Pokemon that can draw 3 cards, there is, very briefly, it's rotating soon, there is actually the Lickitung that came around in Ultra Prism that for 2 energy lets you draw 3 cards, so you need to use twin energy, and I'm not particularly a fan, but I'd be lying to you if I said there weren't any. So look, drawing 2 cards for a colorless energy on a basic Pokemon is something we've seen before, so why Tapu Koko? 110 HP, free retreat. Neither Snorlax nor Sudowoodo has free retreat. Snorlax has more HP, but it's also a gigantic Pokemon. And what you really want to do here is have it in the active, draw some cards, and then free retreat to whatever it is you're attacking with. And that is the hook of Tapu Koko. That's why we like Tapu Koko. It really is as simple as that. It's got free retreat, it's got decent HP, it's a basic Pokemon, it's a single energy. That's the hook of Tapu Koko. That's why we like it. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, for what it does, it's really nice. Now, the second attack, free energy, 110. Look, how often do you attack with Tapu Koko Prism Star? Because it's the exact same attack minus 10 damage. Same cost, no extra effect, 10 less damage. So it's fine. You know, I mean, if you're hitting for weakness, you will get a KO on something like a Lapras V. It's not a terrible attack. Especially when you've got stuff like Tapu Koko Prism Star to accelerate energy, and maybe Pikachu and Zekroms popping a bit of extra energy down here and there. It's not a terrible attack, it's fine in a pinch, it's not the reason we play it. Colorless energy, basic Pokemon, free retreat. You can whack this into any deck, especially evolution decks. When you're going to have to spend a turn or two evolving up anyway, something needs to be in the active for the first couple of turns. And if you can take a hit, but it doesn't stop you retreating, because you got free retreat, why not? And you're drawing some cards. It's nice. Now, incidentally, we do actually have Tapu Koko V that draws 2 cards while doing 20 damage and has 200 HP and free retreat, but it gives up 2 prizes. Although I do love the fact that this Tapu Koko is just a little mini baby version of Tapu Koko V. That amuses me. Carnivine is kind of similar. I'll be honest with you here. Carnivine's similar. Now, it's still a basic Pokemon. It's only got 90 HP and it does have a retreat cost of 1, which sucks. But then again, you do have U-turn board, so if you're playing U-turn board anyway, it's really not the end of the world. Weakness to fire is kind of rubbish with all of those welder decks running around. So, yeah. Here's the thing. For 1 colorless energy, 20 damage, you may draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. So instead of drawing 2, you draw until 5. And the decision here is really going to come down to what kind of a deck you're playing. If you're playing a deck that is often running with an extremely low hand size, because you're playing an awful lot of cards like Quick Ball, Aurora Energy, etc., and you're just constantly discarding cards from your hand, then yeah, this is fine, this is good. If, however, you're not interested in trying to lower your hand size, then you want to go Tapu Koko to just purely draw 2 cards. Carnivine is another option. I don't like Carnivine as much. And the reason I don't like Carnivine as much is extremely simple. It doesn't have free retreat, and it's got 20 less HP. And that makes a difference. That makes a big difference. If I'm more likely to give up a prize, and I'm going to have to start investing resources to get it out the active, it starts becoming a lot less fun. I go from, hang on a second, this is really good in the early game, especially if I need to buy time in an evolution deck, to, nah. It's still good. And let's be clear, Carnivine does actually do damage. It's only 20 damage. It's not much at all. It's an extremely low amount of damage. But it is damage. And that 20 damage could be the difference later on in the game between getting a KO and not getting a KO. So I am all in favour of Carnivine here. And Carnivine does actually have a second attack. It's not amazing, but 2 energy, it does 40 damage, and it heals as much damage as you did. So ordinarily here you would be dealing 40 damage and healing 40 damage. But if you had a Vitality Band, you'd be dealing 50 and healing 50, and so on and so forth. If you could keep pumping up the amount of damage you were doing, you could keep healing more. Not a reason to play Carnivine. Not a reason. I mean, every so often you'll be able to grab a cheeky KO while healing up, but even when you're fully healed, you've still only actually got 90 HP. Don't get terribly excited, ladies and gentlemen. If we put them side by side, I am more of a fan of Tapu Koko for the extra HP, the retreat, and not having to lower your hand size. Remember, you've got to go down to a hand size of 2 before Carnivine is drawing you more cards. But then, I actually want to remind you right now that in Explosive Walker, we are getting a Wishy-Washy. Now, the Wishy-Washy has 30 HP, which is horrifically low. You know, a Mew from Unbroken Bonds is able to drop 3 damage counters and get a KO, bearing in mind a lot of people are playing Mew, and Mew will not protect Wishy-Washy. But also, it lets you, for a single colourless energy, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 8 cards. You are almost certainly giving up a prize if you use Wishy-Washy. It doesn't have free retreat, but it's going to get KO'd. Tapu Koko, you might be able to survive without giving up a prize. Wishy-Washy, you ain't. But Wishy-Washy shuffles your hand into your deck and gives you 8 cards. As a draw card, I think Wishy-Washy is vastly superior to either Tapu Koko or Carnivine, it's a phenomenal draw card, but you're giving up a prize, you've been warned. Let's go and give Tapu Koko between 3 and 4 Wossies. We don't give half Wossies, that would be barbaric. And we'll give Carnivine between 2 and 3 Wossies. We don't give half Wossies, that would be barbaric. No, I don't think Carnivine's going to see much play, but I do love it as an option. Tapu Koko, when you combine high HP, free retreat, and drawing in evolution decks that need something to do turn 1, I could see this finding its way into a bunch of decks. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darned awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.